Our recipe for roast chicken 101. You need to start with an impeccably fresh chicken. Look for one that's plump, golden, and fresh. Wash it under ice-cold water and pat it dry inside and out. Remove the giblets from the cavity and any excess fat. Then turn your oven to 425 degrees and have a steel roasting pan. You can use copper that's tin-lined, you can use steel. Just make sure that it's large enough to contain the chicken. This is a 6-pound chicken. Season the inside with about a half a teaspoon of salt and a large pinch of freshly ground pepper. This is fresh thyme, and you can take off some of the leaves, but make sure that you insert both the leaves and the stems. 3 cloves of garlic that are peeled, and 2 lemons. Now, notice that my raw chicken is not right on my cutting board. It is on 2 pieces of parchment paper. This keeps your work surface clean. The juices of the chicken stay right on the paper. It's a little good thing. Always soften a lemon like this on a board. Now you can feel that the juice is just ready to come out of that lemon, and poke a few holes in it. You want the juice as well as the flavor of the peel. Put that right in. Already the juice is coming out. And again with this lemon, put 2 white onions that have been peeled and sliced approximately ½ an inch thick all over the bottom of the pan. This gives some flavor to the gravy that's going to be a very important part of the perfect roast chicken. And now truss the bird. It's very important to truss or tie up a chicken. Otherwise, you'd have wings that are flopping and they might get burnt. The legs will just get overdone. So this is the neck flap. Make sure that this is pulled underneath the chicken and turn under the wing tips. Like that. That'll get you ready to tie it up. Then with your double piece of cotton string, I fold it in half like that, go right here underneath the neck flap, up over the drumsticks, and around the drumstick ends once. Those are like the little ankles. And pull. You can see that it immediately takes on a nice plump shape. And go around the tail with the string, with one side and then with the other. This is the way that I truss all birds, and I always tie my string in a bow. Then I can just untie it very easily once it's roasted. Now put that in the roasting pan right on top of the onions. And the very last thing we do before we put that in the oven is to take 1 tablespoon of butter, soft butter that's at room temperature, and just put that butter all over the skin. There's no basting really necessary with this roasting method. And now season a little bit more with salt and pepper. Now this should be put into the 425-degree preheated oven, and it'll take approximately an hour and a half to roast. So while it's roasting, you can prepare your vegetables, your salad, and even a dessert. Well, here, that looks very good. Look how nice and crispy it is. And the gravy looks a beautiful color of brown. Now it's time to transfer it to a platter. Just pick the chicken right out of the pan, and you're going to save everything that's in the pan for Gravy 101. And now put the chicken to rest for about 20 minutes while you make the gravy. As far as I'm concerned, you can't have the perfect roast chicken without the perfect gravy to accompany it. And the gravy is made from those wonderful sweet juices that are right in the roasting pan. The onions have caramelized a little bit and added a sweetness to the juice. And to make the gravy, just follow these simple instructions. First, we want to pour out all the juice, and look how nice the color is. We want to pour it into a bowl, leaving the onions and any of the solids in the pan. You're always talking about solids, and what you're really trying to do with this step is to take out the juice, which includes any excess fat. And have 1 cup of very well-seasoned homemade chicken broth if you can, or you can use canned chicken broth. And I have that right here. And this is going to go into the pan to loosen any of the drippings. Now turn your flame on high, and with a wooden spoon, just loosen any of those nice dark drippings. You don't want anything burnt though, so make sure you remove any burnt parts, but nothing's burnt in this pan. And our onions will add even more flavor to the chicken stock. Now while this is cooking, you can remove all the fat from this bowl. You don't want that in your sauce. So just with a spoon, I always use a spoon, you can remove fat. Now add this right to your pan of reducing stock and onions. If this is a roast chicken for 2, you can make this reduction very thick and very rich. If it's going to be for 4, let it be a little bit thinner so it goes around. Now watch this step very carefully. You don't want it to boil all the way, then you won't have any gravy whatsoever. I think we have reduced it to exactly the right amount. Pour all of this right into your strainer. You can press a little bit with the back of the spoon. 1 last enrichment, 1 tablespoon of butter, which just adds that last little bit of flavor. And now we have the perfect gravy for the perfect roast chicken.